On this episode, light up a joint, turn on your old Xbox, and join us as we play a little demonic. We watched Grandma's Boy, and you're listening to Geeked Out.
Popcorn in our hands, ready for the show. From the classics to the blockbusters, we're always in the know. Throwing references like confetti, we keep it real. Geeked Out Podcast, we make you feel. We're the critics you can trust.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Geeked Out. My name is Kyle.
And I'm Bono's brother, a.k.a. Juan. No, I'm just playing.
And for this episode, we are going to close out our series on what we're calling Guilty Pleasure movies. And this week was Juan's pick. As you heard in the intro, we watched Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it to you before we get into the details of the movie. What's your history with this movie? What made you kind of want to suggest this for the show?
This theme being the guilty pleasure films. This was one of the ones that was definitely on the top of my list. One that I definitely wanted to review, and this was the perfect moment to use it for. I don't remember seeing this in the theater. Don't even remember any marketing for the movie, to be honest. So this was definitely a rental, and I think when I rented it, I think I immediately bought it, and it was one of those DVDs I ran through. I watched it on repeat quite a bit, actually, and to the point where I watched all the behind the scenes and all the special features that came with the DVD. Even the commentary. I remember watching the movie with the commentary throughout, and it's worth watching it through there if you have a DVD. If those, those are it's a hard thing to find now, but if you do, the commentary is really great, and I absolutely love this movie.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I was the same way. I remember zero marketing for this movie when it came out. Excuse me. So it wouldn't have been a theater for me, but it was either a rental or I caught it on TV, but I was the same way. I went out and almost immediately purchased this movie. And it's funny, when we decided to do this movie for the podcast, I tried to find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. So,
Oh no.
and I couldn't find my copy even. So I went on to Amazon and I was like, I'm just going to rent it for the $4, whatever it is on Amazon. And when I opened it, there was a thing that said you could buy it for $25 that was crossed out, and it said $4.99. And I went, well, if it's only $4 to rent it, I'm going to buy it for $5 because I'm definitely going to watch it again. And
Good choice.
sat down, watched it, and it was just as funny as I remember it.
Oh my
albeit
God.
there were certain parts that I kind of thought maybe could have been cut out or toned down a bit, but for the most part, I was in stitches laughing at this movie.
Yeah, especially this movie came out 2006.
Yep.
Usually, a lot of comedies from there were a lot more, or at least doesn't hold up as much.
I mean, there were a few things in this movie, like there's a lot of references of an insult that a lot of times they throw out with people they don't like, is they call them gay, which is unfortunate.
Oh yeah.
But
course.
again, that's a sign of the times, as sad as it kind of is. But
But there's very few of those instances, right?
yeah,
Which
it's
is-
not like
which
it's
is rare
peppered
for the-
through the movie. It's just here and there a couple times.
Yeah, which is rare for like a raunchy comedy, right? Especially the early 2000s when like all bets were off.
Yeah.
Everyone was getting made fun of, right? In pretty extreme ways. So
Well,
I'm glad.
especially this being a Happy Madison production. I mean,
Hmm
you watch almost anything from that production company, obviously Adam Sandler's company, it's almost like anything goes for the most part.
Yeah, and a few of those from, I wouldn't say the early 2000s, but even like the late 90s that I mean, if you are a fan of those style movies, they're funny, but nowadays there's some questionable things that is going on in some of those movies. But this one
Absolutely.
here not so much, not as many, anyways. And I'm glad, I'm glad. It's been a while since I seen this, just because when I had the DVD, it was on repeat, so I know this movie beat for beat.
Yeah.
So, and it's been a while since I've seen it, and yeah, man, I laughed just as hard as I did when I first seen it, even more so now, just because it's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of jokes that I remembered, and I mean, the like, I'm one for when I watch movies. Sometimes just one time, but a lot of times more than once. I'm a stickler for repeating the lines and knowing all the lines. And people, when they watch movies with
Yes,
me, just get super frustrated. But it's a habit that I've had since I was a little kid.
and that's the
Um,
thing. Yeah, this movie is just
it's
it's a
so
it's a
quotable.
it's a quote fest, and the majority of the notes that I wrote down are just quotes. Like I just wrote quotes. It's crazy. I put some
Yeah, I've got
critiques on this movie, but
a lot of
it's
quotes
just
written down.
it's consumed by quotes, which is
Well,
great because
let's.
most of these I still say today.
Yeah, you know what? I've as I was watching it, I caught myself being like, oh yeah, I say that, even if I don't say it out loud in my
It'll run
head.
through your head
Yeah,
every time.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's get into it. So, as we said, we watched the movie Grandma's Boy, which was released on January 6th of 2006 on a budget of just $5 million.
Damn.
And it had a return of the global box office of just 6.5 million.
Oh,
However, it would go on to gross more than 50 million in DVD sales.
yeah, as it should.
And there was even when I was doing the research, I came across this, and I've heard Nick Swartzen say this before. He's
My boy.
well, it said that Adam Sandler had once introduced him to the CEO of Blockbuster, and the CEO basically said, "Your movie, Grandma's Boy, was one of the most stolen movies of all time because nobody fucking returned the movie ever." Which I think is an absolute ringing endorsement.
That's a record, yeah, for sure. That's definitely what out is the flex.
And
That's
if
crazy.
you want to, if you want proof of that, we'll go into the ratings. This currently has a 6.9 out of 10
Oh,
rating on
yeah.
IMDb.
Yikes.
What what qualifies it for our guilty pleasure is the tomato meter. The critics on Rotten Tomatoes have this at a 15%. However, the popcorn meter of fans has it at 85. So clearly,
Right?
you can tell that the general public, people are liking this movie or have liked this movie through the years a hell of a lot more than what the critics gave it credit for.
And yes, definitely. And this is a perfect example of certain movies, especially like a comedy, a stoner comedy, should not be critiqued like a film that is made for that is like a movie that would be considered a film. Like this is
No, you can't
Grandma's
stack
Boy.
up
No, you can't. You can't
you can't
compare this
stack up a
to
movie like this to like Shawshank or
or any movie that it
it's not
isn't
the
a
same.
comedy. Yeah, because a comedy is it's in it a league of its own, and it should be critiqued like that, or else you're gonna get discrepancies between the audience and the critics, man. Just like you see in the Rotten Tomato score.
And I could be wrong with saying this or even thinking this, but I think that it seems like it actually might be even more difficult to make a comedy to make people laugh than it would be to make a serious type of drama movie.
Absolutely. Because humor, it's subjective, and what is funny to me isn't necessarily going to be funny to somebody else.
Exactly.
So yeah, and I feel like even though this is a funny movie to me and you, there's people who are fans of comedy that would watch this and still not find it funny. And usually, honestly, mostly that are like critics. Like usually critics don't really have a sense of humor in a way, or at least don't understand comedy.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I feel like a lot
or
of critics look at comedies like this and immediately they're just like, this is stupid. This is the lowest, like, this is low hanging fruit. This doesn't deserve my time.
yeah, they're like little they they turn their head or like they raise their nose to it or something. I forget the actual the turn of phrase for it, but yeah, they think they're just because it's silly and it's not a Shawshank that it doesn't deserve to be doesn't have any good qualities. And I just wish that they could critique comedy movies in a different light,
Yeah. No, I agree.
you know. But I
So
understand where
getting,
they're coming from, though. Yeah, you know.
I mean, like you say, it is subjective and that kind of has to fall into it too. But getting back to
Absolutely.
it, the director of this movie was Nicholas Goosen. It was written by Barry Warnick, Alan Covert, and Nick Swardson. It stars Alan Covert, Nick Swardson, Linda Cardellini, Joel David Moore, Doris Roberts, Shirley Jones, Peter Dante, Kevin Nealon, and Jonah Hill. And there are several other little cameos of different actors that pop up throughout the
Yeah,
film.
two in particular that you know that usually are in a lot of Happy Madison productions, but usually aren't people's favorite. But I totally like their small little cameo bits in this movie.
Yeah, I do as well. So, Grandma's Boy is about a 35-year-old video game tester who has to move in with his grandmother and her two older roommates. Sorry, old lady roommates. Um, right off the bat, like when this movie opens up, the movie opens up with Alan Covert's character, Alex, and it's him and his roommate. And all of a sudden, these guys come in, and you find out that they're being evicted because his roommate has been spending their rent money on Filipino masseuses, hookers, and right off the bat, we get two great cameos in this movie. We get former WWE and WCW superstar Kevin Nash
For
as
some
one of
reason.
the. Well, I think it's just because he's big and he's like, if you like, because the landlord sends them in to like clear out their stuff, which I'm not sure that's how that works.
That is not how that works at all.
I'm pretty sure if you get evicted, they don't have two goons come in and just pack up your shit and give you like 5 minutes to get off the premises.
Absolutely not.
But they
No
use him
way.
because he's one of the guys they use because he's big and intimidating. And
Yeah, of
the other
course.
cameo is as you said, Happy Madison constant Rob
Oh,
Schneider,
love.
who's playing another one of his. I don't even. It said that he's supposed to be playing an Armenian character. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I do like some of the. I do like the way he comes in and he's obviously they've been smoking weed because I mean it's a stoner comedy, and he references that it smells like a Cypress Hill concert.
hmm That was a good line.
That's pardon.
It was a good line.
It's a
The
good
way,
line. I mean, my favorite personal line of this opening scene, and I've said it since I saw the movie is when the guy's explaining where all the rent money went, and he's like, "Oh, they're just massage therapists," and Kevin Nash goes, "Yeah, who'll massage your cock for money?" There's a word for that. It's called hooker, and the guy just goes, "You're a hooker."
Oh yeah.
Me and my friends have quoted that back and forth with each other for almost 20 years since this movie came out.
I don't blame you. That's a good one. And yeah, Rob Schneider. His character in this was pretty funny. Um, he's good. He's when he is in a
He
comedic role,
he
but in
can be.
small bursts. And exactly, that's where I was getting at. In small bursts, when his screen time is limited as hell, and the character isn't, it's good.
Aside
Because
from
he can take almost any character and make it funny, but sometimes he tends, when the camera's too on him too long, he fucking veers off the goddamn cliff, goes a little bit too far. But
aside from Deuce Bigelow, I don't think I would ever want to watch a Rob Schneider starring movie.
I've seen a couple of them. There was Deuce
So have I,
Bigelow,
and that's why I say it.
The Animal. What's it called? The Animal. Is that one of
The
them?
Animal, the hot chick.
The Hot Chick. I actually like The Animal. I'm not even gonna lie. I know it was dumb as hell, but
Dude, I only watched.
I didn't hate it.
I wanted to watch The Animal when it came out because it had Colleen Haskins from Survivor.
Chick from Survivor.
I was a
Yeah,
big
she's
fan of
cute.
hers.
She's cute as hell. That's why, partially why I like that movie too. But yeah, I think that's the one. Deuce Bigelow, the first one's pretty good, but it's one of those movies where it's not even really him. It's a lot of the side characters.
Yeah. But again, that movie, Rob Schneider just plays a normal person, which is
Yeah.
why I think it's okay. But when a lot of these Happy Madison or specifically Adam Sandler driven movies, he plays such a wild character that if you
Yeah.
had to see him on screen for more than a few minutes, it would just get tired way too fast.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, and this character is kind of just like a rehashed version of his character from Big Daddy, in a way. It's almost kind of the same.
Yeah. Yeah, with the
Right.
accent and
Same realm. So that's probably also why I enjoy him, just because I like that. I like Big Daddy as a movie too. So that's
I
probably
bet you like the fact that it looks like they're playing. So they're playing. This movie came out long enough ago that they're playing the
like Fight
original
Night.
they're
Yeah.
playing the original Xbox. And as soon as they showed the screen, I was like, "Oh, this has got to be Fight Night. Juan's gonna have a fucking shit fit when he sees this."
I fucking love Fight Night. I don't know. I think that's number 2. I think that's Fight Night Round 2.
I think that's the one that I used to own, but I had it on PS2.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a classic for sure. Love that series. I
And
recognize
that's
it right away.
and I will say that's one thing in this movie that, unfortunately, as we watch movies from anytime, the minute any kind of technology is involved, it kind of dates the movie because we know how long it's been since we've had the original Xbox. We see them
Yeah.
using flip phones and things like that. They're still using tube TVs, so that I'll always think
Yeah.
I'll always take that as kind of a bit of a negative just because it dates it, but there's nothing you can really do about it, obviously.
They're
It's
still
just
using
always something
dolls.
that kind of stands out.
They're still using dolls to help them get,
Dude,
get them
this
where they
movie
need
gets this this movie gets going so fast in terms of
Yeah.
the just
And
insanity
they
of
need
some of the
time to
jokes.
breathe. Yeah, you're fucking thrown right into it for sure. It doesn't stop.
I forgot, I've seen this movie so many times, but it's been quite a few years. I forgot that it went immediately from him getting kicked out to him going to stay at Nick Swartzen's place and all that shit going down.
Well, it's the wedding first. After that is like that wedding of, I don't know who the fuck. who's getting
Which
married.
he's at a wedding wearing a short sleeve polo shirt with a tie.
Yeah.
It's not even a dress shirt. I mean, that is a look.
Yeah. Not wedding attire at all.
I mean,
But, he's sitting with children discussing
Which
video
is-
games. So.
which is funny because he's sitting there and he's like the video game guru walking them through some game. I don't know. And that was the other thing that I was thinking about. I don't know how about you, but I'm a big fan of video games, and I play quite a few of them when I can. I can't remember the last time I played a game that had like legit levels, like level 1, level 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because nowadays
Yeah,
it's like every different level or quote unquote chapter always just has a different title.
Yeah, there's a game I'm playing now, but it's a throwback to the games from the 90s. So I don't think that counts.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
So
but no, not really. Not any modern games, anyways.
So speaking of that, speaking of the Nick Swardson part, what did you think of this whole when he goes to stay with him?
Oh my
I mean,
God.
again, this scene is filled with unforgettable
His intro,
quotes.
Jeff's intro is one of the fucking funny. Nick Swardson, right? He's one of the funniest. To me, he's one of the funniest comedic actors ever, and he's so underrated. And he's not in a bunch of things, but the things that he's in, man, he does He does a bit in Reno 911, which is kind of like a cop parody TV show. And
Yeah, it's the Tom Lennon show.
He plays this character that's on like roller skates, and he's homosexual, and it's just so funny, man. The way his improv and just the way he approaches characters is funny, man, and it's absolutely perfect in this movie. His intro alone had me absolutely dying.
I love
From
that
how I was just about to say. He refers to his parents as roommates. First of all, as soon as he opens the fucking door,
he's in a onesie.
He's in a baby blue onesie. You're like, what? First of all, I don't even think they fucking make those. Where do you get that?
It's funny because he opens the door and he's like whispering, and Alex is like, "Are you sure this is okay?" And that's when you get, "Yeah, you just got to be quiet. My roommates are sleeping." You mean your parents? Yeah, same thing.
Like, okay.
But for me, it's when they get into his bedroom and he starts asking if he wants, "Oh, do you want a stuffed animal? I have this."
Oh my God. Well, as soon as he goes into the bed, he jumps on the bed. The way he jumps on the bed is like a fucking child. Like
Well,
a
it's a
little
child's
kid would
bed.
jump on the bed. But just the way he jumped on the bed, it was, oh my God, just that alone. In the car bed.
So
And then
that
the
whole
fucking,
thing is my favorite.
the inflatable mattress, the little ass fish.
Which he says it's an air mattress. I'm like, he goes, "Yeah, you're sleeping on the air mattress." I'm like, that's not an air mattress. That's a blow up floaty that you put in the pool and relax on.
That's not, and Alex is a pretty tall person.
Yeah.
That's gonna fit half of his body.
But that's one of my favorite scenes, and it's probably some of my favorite lines in the movie is when he goes, he's like, "At least I have a bed." And he goes, "Yeah, your bed's a car." "Yeah, but it's a fucking sweet car."
He's talking about he's gonna put rims on it for Christmas.
Yeah, he starts going, his roommates are going to get him rims.
What are you talking about?
Or he's like, "Oh, they're going to get me a CV radio so I can talk to other car beds."
Oh, Jesus.
I read a thing that all that stuff was improv, and when you see
Absolutely.
when you see Alex laying down on the mattress and he goes, "Shut up," he said that to get Nick Swardson to stop saying things because he just keeps going.
Exactly. And they definitely let him go off in this movie with the improv because the things he says in this movie have to be improv just from how he says it, the way he says it, the
Yeah.
randomness.
Now,
Oh man,
I
perfect.
will say one of my big negatives is the next scene with the Lara Croft doll.
Yeah,
I think
I
this whole
mean,
scene could
it
be
doesn't
cut.
it doesn't hold up because first of all, we live in an age where you have phones. You don't really need to resort to a
But
doll.
even at
But
that
the
time,
fact
I
that
didn't
he
think it
did
was
the
super funny.
no, it's not funny. And yeah,
I,
yeah, you could totally have cut it.
I feel like the
But
only reason that they put it in the movie is so that when they go to work the next day, it's kind of like a thing that Jeff's kind of been telling everybody secretly about what happened, which they could have done. They could have done that simply as if like I don't know, like he was taking a shit and Jeff's mom walked in on him or something. It didn't have to be he was fucking masturbating and fucking came on Jeff's mom. Like
oh yeah, and the reason why the mom was even hired is because the way she
the
could
reaction,
scream. Yeah, is
yeah, that
exactly
doesn't
why she
surprise
was
me.
hired. Yeah. So if they don't have that scene, then she doesn't get her, her screen time. But but yeah, no, they could have cut it for sure, and or just made something up. But yeah, the fact that they it was spread all over the office was goddamn hilarious because there's a point where Alex was saying stop talking about it,
Yeah.
and then the way Jess was like people keep asking him about it, just the way he said it, the very matter of fact
Well, and at the end of
was
the day,
so funny.
at the end of the day, when he doesn't have anywhere to go, he asked the one guy, and he's like, "No, I don't want you doing that to my mom." He goes, "How many people did you tell?" And Jeff's like, "I don't know, like 13. I don't know. It's a big deal. I don't know why. I didn't know it was a secret." Like, what the fuck?
Exactly, like it definitely not doesn't need to be told not to say it. It should
It should be known.
be because
But
why would you? Yeah,
speaking of their workplace, I would love to work at a place like Brainasium. It like number one, I love video games, but it also just seems like the most laid back, chill place to work. Like,
oh yeah, it like definitely tugs on the nostalgia chords there of um of like the early 2000 video game, you know, feel.
except if I had to work for a designer like JP, absolutely not. This guy is something
Uh,
else.
if I didn't have to interact with them all the time, then I could probably do it. 'Cause it looks fun as hell until, you have to talk to that motherfucker.
I mean, even what I mean, he's not their boss. Kevin Nealon, who is another guy that I'm a big
Him
fan of.
too.
I feel honestly though, like Kevin Nealon in this movie
Yeah,
is just an extension of his character in Happy Gilmore.
I didn't really, it didn't really flow for me. Like it didn't flow for the rest of the movie. It was a little, it was just too much.
It
It
was
was
too much, but I
completely
kept thinking
unnecessary.
because if you remember him in Happy Gilmore, he's the guy who was like, "You got to be the ball, breathe,
Yeah,
block out the bad, get on the carousel. It goes up and down and around." Like
it
he
was.
just, and then in this one, he's so zen and like Buddhist, and
It's like an evolved version of that character.
yeah, it was it seemed very similar to the same type of character.
Yeah, and it just, I don't know. My only complaint, well, besides, the scene with the doll, is his character. He's the only character that it's not like I hated, I just liked the least. It just didn't work for me.
I didn't mind him too much because I'm sure that in that type of, I mean, I'm sure in every industry there's people like that, but he did go a little over the top when he's like having business meetings and he's doing yoga on top of his desk and
Yeah, that you
he's
could have.
having like a guy come in and burn sage to get rid of the
That
bad
was pretty
energy
funny.
before a
That had me.
fucking board meeting.
That had me laughing. That part had me laughing because they opened the scene that way, which is
Yeah.
that's why it was pretty funny. But yeah, I think it was just laid on a little bit thick. They should have just dialed his character. They could have been the same character, just dial it down a little bit,
Yeah.
and it would have worked fine, a lot better.
I will say though with JP's character, I don't think I think he
No,
was right where he needed to be.
there was a couple times where maybe one scene where it was just too far. He was like, "That's kind of
The only
okay."
bit the only bit with him was the when he's at like in his apartment, he's wearing makeup and he's talking to himself in the robot voice, and he's
Yeah,
the, other. But other than that, I thought he was like his little one-liners that he would have. I thought were hysterical.
yeah. I feel like the more the movie kept going, the more kind of silly he
Yeah,
got.
I mean,
And
espe-
for me, the part that was just like, all right, was when he was just he was like pretending to be invisible, or you know, I was like, come on, man,
how can he see me?
that part. I was like, really? You're supposed to be smart as fuck. All right.
I
Other than that,
So
yeah.
for me and my buddies, the scene when you meet Linda Cardellini, who plays Samantha, who is hired to come in to make sure that his new video game gets released on time, and he's giving her like the tour of the office. He says something to her that me and my friends used to just randomly go up to one another and we would say it just
Oh,
like we could be in a serious situation and one of us would just run up and go, "I'm thinking of getting metal legs. It's a risky operation, but it'll be worth it."
dude, that will randomly pop in my head all the time. I Whenever I meet somebody new and I talk to them for long enough, that will come up.
Or the techno one later.
Which one?
Does the music scare you? No, I just don't like it. You would if you had robot ears.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
But this is 2 years after Dodgeball. This is Joel David Moore who plays JP. And in Dodgeball, he has such a smaller role, but even in that movie where he plays Owen, I thought he was really funny.
Yeah. Yeah, he was good in that ensemble. Definitely he fit well with that cast.
And I mean, I remember he was in this movie, but I remember when it came out, I definitely wasn't expecting to see Jonah Hill in this movie.
No, early Jonah Hill, like basically a glorified extra, or a side character.
Which is, I mean, this comes out the year before Superbad, so people didn't really know who he was yet, so it makes sense. I mean, if this
Big.
came
This
out,
is the
if
biggest
this
I ever seen him in.
he was. I mean, if this
Bigger,
came, yeah, for
bigger,
me to say that, but
he's even small because if this was, you said this was a year before
yeah, this
Superbad.
came out a
He
year
seemed like he was
before.
smaller in Superbad
Yeah, he did.
compared to Grandma.
But he's got a couple of really good parts that I found. I love when
Yeah, that's a good line.
Alex kicks him in the leg and he goes and he grabs his shit. He's like, "I think he fucking shattered it."
Or when they were snitching on him, when the Velma, I'm gonna just call her Velma. Velma was Tessa went into his hands. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When Jonah Hill, yeah, there was just before he got his shit shattered. He was like, you literally just told us that. Just the way, just
Oh
the way,
yeah.
just the way you said it. You could tell it was a little bit of improv there, but it was just the delivery was funny.
But it for me with him, it's the delivery of after the big party, and Nick Swartzen's like, yeah, and at the party, Barry sucked on his first booby, and Jonah Hill stands up and he goes, for 13 hours.
Right? Yeah. Just yeah.
Like this
Yeah,
movie
and that
is all over the place, and we haven't even gotten to Doris Roberts yet.
no, any of them. Any of them.
I mean,
Really.
what I've never understood, so obviously with this movie, he's forced to go and live with his grandmother and her two roommates, and it works out perfectly because their fourth roommate died a couple weeks prior. But I don't know why he's so embarrassed. Like, everybody knows that he got kicked out of his place, so he's not embarrassed about that. But then he's embarrassed to say that I'm crashing with my grandmother until I can find another place. So he just comes up with this lie that, yeah, I'm shacking up with these three hot girls and they watch porn all the time and we have crazy orgies and like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
could
know
understand.
why he's so afraid for them to know.
Me neither. And yeah, if you're gonna lie to impress your friends, fine. But it's the fact that he just kept going along with it. He could should have just fessed up
Yeah.
long before the they all busted him at work by
And
showing up.
what's crazy to me is you watch this and all three of these women, you obviously have Doris Roberts, who we all know as Ray Romano's mother from Everybody Loves Raymond. You have Shirley Jones, who was the mother in the Partridge Family. And then
Yeah.
Shirley Knight, who I don't know much about Shirley Knight, but I was looking into her a bit, and she's a 2-time Academy Award nominee. She's won a Tony. She's been nominated 8 times for an Emmy. She's won a Golden Globe. Like these are 3 very accomplished actresses. So to see them in a movie that's such a raunchy stoner comedy, especially with what they end up doing throughout the movie, I was completely blown away.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they all do something in the movie that they normally would never do in any of the roles that they ever did in their long Hollywood careers, which
Yeah,
is good because I think every serious actor should do something silly in their life just because it's different. You're an actor. You should be able to do every kind of movie, every kind of role, and you shouldn't be limited. And you should go out and challenge yourself with a comedic role because it's hard. It's hard to make people laugh.
yeah.
And each one of these ladies definitely made me laugh in this movie. So
Oh,
good for them.
100%. I mean, you've got, like I say, Shirley Knight, who plays B. She's got like a tackle box of all the different pills that she takes.
That's for breakfast and
Yeah, she
lunch.
she she
Yeah.
takes so many of them. She's making a smiley face on her plate for breakfast. Like,
Yeah, she's like the space case loopy one of the group,
yeah,
which
and
she
then
plays the role great. It's funny, man. And you believe it. You you believe it. Yeah, she could be one of those type of people.
well, and the other one I like when they do the introduction for Shirley Jones, when Alex is sitting at the table and she comes out and she's asking like, "Oh, how old are you? What do you do?" Like it
Right? She just
it
goes right
almost
out and
seems
just says
like
it. Talk.
Well, it almost seems like she's trying to get information to see if he would be somebody that she would want to like hook up with. And then she goes, "Do you have a girlfriend?" "No." "I'll give you my nephew's number. He's gay too." And it's a running joke the whole movie. She refuses to believe that he's straight.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. There's no rhyme or reason why, just because he's
No.
single.
And when she's saying that, she's pulling a full bottle of rosé out of the fridge and just drinking from it.
Hmm. And she's playing like the slutty slash bitter,
Yeah.
no fucks given.
Well, that's like they say something about. I think Doris Roberts says something about like she's had a hard life. You would too if you had 4 husbands die on you. And Alex goes, "Probably suicides."
Yeah, yeah, that's all. That's crazy. But yeah,
And then, of
yeah,
course, all the things that Doris Roberts does in this movie. I mean, I didn't expect to have this type of a reaction, but when I was watching this movie, all of the scenes where she's like making him food and she's
she's
kind
a
of being, she's being,
sweet,
I started thinking about my grandmothers.
because that's what they would do.
Exactly. My grandma, I would go to my grandma's and the first thing would be like, "Oh, how you doing? Do you want something to eat?" And she would do the same thing. She'd pull out all this food for me. And I'd be like, "Grandma, I'm fine." No, you gotta eat. And I'd have like a 5-course meal in front of me within 15 minutes.
Yeah, and any serious or scenes that have some type of acting or emotion, usually she is in the forefront of those scenes. She's definitely in any type of scene that requires the
Yeah, she's
emotion.
definitely the emotional center of the movie.
Yeah, and she plays that role so well, man. It's, there's one moment where I don't know if it would be out of her character, but I totally appreciated that she did it, even though if she did that to me, she she did that to me randomly, instinctively, just the way, somebody scares me in the middle of the night
Say, is this the ghost?
and I don't know it's her. You just run up on me and jump. I might swing. I'd feel bad that I just swung on my grandma.
Well, I
Why
love
you
that when
shouldn't be jumping out at people in the middle of the night doing ghost voices,
I love when she's doing the
trying to
voice and
scare the
she's like,
shit out of me. She tried to scare the. That would have
she's like,
scared the shit out of me
well, she's
if
like,
she
nobody
did
was
that.
here to. He's like, nobody was here to help me. And Alex is like, "I would have helped you, Sophie. I swear to God."
That voice was chilling, bro. Where'd she get that? How'd she do that voice? God damn! And then she just sprung up from under the bed.
Yeah. See those
I,
types of
I
those
like
types of
Alex was like
things.
Alex was like, I swear to God, I would have helped you.
Yeah.
He said it.
But see
Uh,
those types of jokes and things in this movie are I would say that they're realistic. The things that aren't realistic is pretty much everything that happens with Dante, who's
everything,
played by Peter Dante. I mean,
everything.
his introduction is another fantastic one when he opens the door and he's completely naked. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just putting up my Christmas tree." And he goes, "It's the middle of July. Get the fuck out of here." It is.
Yeah.
And he doesn't realize that he's naked. But
No.
that's his intro. That's the first time you see him on screen. And then you immediately go into, he has, I don't even know what was he called? Dr. Shakalu, I believe is his name.
Sure. That
He's like
it's
an
something like that.
he's like an African tribal
Yeah,
doctor,
he's
I
like a
guess.
Sure, yeah, like I think yeah, he says a witch doctor. I think they say witch doctor or something like
and
that.
he's gonna hook him up with a lion.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how it
Sure.
starts, and then it goes to the lion goes badly, so then he's gonna get him a monkey and hire an Asian man to teach the monkey Taekwondo.
With
Like the things that they come up with for his character, I was just shaking my head, going, "Where did you even come up with these ideas?"
yeah, it is absolutely the most ridiculous part of this movie. And yeah, it's you're either gonna find it funny or you're just simply not. It's either gonna
I
work
mean,
for you or it isn't.
it
And
was
it works
funny,
for
but
me.
at the same
It was
time, I
funny,
was
but it was a little
like tilting my head to the side like a confused dog, like, "Huh?"
yeah, because it logically none of it would ever doesn't make sense. It would not work. But hey, they put it in this movie.
Yeah. No, I mean, so I mean, like, obviously the main conflict of this movie, aside from like him having to live with his grandmother, is them trying to get this game that has designed released on time. Now, the funny thing is, every time you see the floor of all these video game testers, there's probably 30 or 40 of them, and they're like, "We've got to get this done. It needs to be hit the deadline. Yada yada yada." So we're going to take 4 of our testers and have them do the entire game. What are the rest of these guys working on? If this is your sole important project, why wouldn't you put everybody on this? I mean, I know it's
Or
because you would have to give all
more
these
people.
characters names and backstories and whatnot.
Exactly. They only if they would have put more people, then it would have been they didn't have enough comedic actors. So
You know who
they
I
only got so many.
so one of the guys that I actually think is quite underrated in this movie is Kelvin Yu, who plays Kane.
Okay.
I thought he was actually pretty funny in the movie. I mean, it was a little over the top that every time something seemed like it was going wrong for him, he immediately was like, "I don't deserve to live." That was a little much, but
Yeah. I mean, I think they were just playing on the Asian stereotype in a way with that character. Like, um,
well,
the fact that
if
sorry.
you want more Asian stereotype, in the movie you see him driving his car,
Oh man, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's one of the examples.
but
I swear to God, that car is from a Fast and the Furious
it
movie.
is. So that movie, he drives a heavily modified Toyota Supra, and that exact car was in the beginning of Too Fast, Too Furious. I think that's the car that Michael Isley is driving,
Yeah, I think it's Ely. I think his
or
last name's
Michael
Ely.
Ealy. Sorry,
Uh, I
I
think it is
think
too.
that's the car
I
he's
recognized
driving.
it. I recognized it immediately. I
Yeah,
never recognized it before, but I was like, that is definitely from a Fast and Furious movie. And yeah, I'm 99% sure that it was his car from Michael Ealy's car in 2002 Furious.
yeah. Because I read
Which
that
is
piece of trivia.
crazy.
I read that piece of trivia, and then I watched the movie. And as soon as he pulled up, I was like, "Well, that's definitely in the movie." And I looked at it and went, "Wait a second! I think that's one of the 4 cars from the race at the beginning. Like, not just it was featured, like it was it was fully on screen for a good 4 or 5 minutes."
Yeah, and it's yeah, and like why? Why is he driving it? Because he's Asian. Of course, the
Yeah,
Asian is driving the super tough thing, and I think that's why he's so hard on himself. It's because Asians have this,
that
at least
stereotypical upbringing.
within themselves, they have this allure of having to be perfect. So
Well,
yeah,
So the other funny thing in terms of cars is I read in the trivia that the car that Alex drives is just a complete beater piece of shit. And the reason that he drives that is because by the time they had to go get a car for him to drive for the movie, the budget had almost no money left. So they just got whatever they could afford, and that became his vehicle for the movie.
Jeez. It's I guess it works for him. That little beater car. You don't
So,
really see, you only see it. You see it like twice, I think.
yeah, you don't see it very often.
Yeah.
One of the other things that have always found
But
so funny
the best car in this whole movie is the car bed. Just
is the what?
the car bed.
Oh,
The
the
best car
car.
in the whole movie.
It's a fucking sweet car.
Can't wait till it gets rims. Can't wait to see it.
One of the other things I wanted to mention earlier, I have it. I'm trying to. Oh my god.
What?
Oh, I was trying to find it in my notes. One of the other scenes earlier that I absolutely found hysterical, and it kind of shows, as much as this is a stoner movie, it also there are scenes where it shows like when you smoke weed, you're not exactly in your the best frame of mind. Specifically, it's the scene where he goes into the kitchen, into the fridge. And he's like, oh, finally a roommate who goes shopping and takes all of this food out. And again, it's a great line. He stands up and he looks around and he goes, of course she doesn't have a microwave. She's fucking 100.
And
So-
it's funny because everything in that, every bit of appliance, electronic in that whole house definitely felt like it was from 1950s, including the TV. Did you see the TV in Alex's fucking... Or
I was just going to say the one in his bedroom. Oh my God.
that shit looked like it was the original. Is this the original television?
You know what that TV reminded me of?
Like a Model 1 television.
No, that reminded me of Doc Brown's TV in the 1955 in the first Back to the Future.
I don't even remember the TV in that movie, bro. I don't even really remember it like that. But damn.
But now, I don't know about you. I have, in my past, I've smoked weed quite a bit. I don't think I've ever been high enough that I would put something in the oven and then go to take it out and forget to put oven mitts on or grab a towel or anything like that.
No, absolutely not. Because you're opening something hot. As soon as you open the oven, you're gonna feel the hot. You're gonna want. It's just, I don't. No, I've I smoke. I dabble a little bit into it, and no, I've never been that messed up after smoking to where I would throw logic or common sense out the window. But I'm glad that he did because the shit was
Absolutely.
fucking hilarious. There's like a TikTok or something of like it keeps showing up in my feed. Where I guess I don't know if the guy did it on purpose, but this guy almost recreated that scene. I think he grabs like this thing of nachos, and it's all in slow motion,
Oh,
and he drops it, and his fucking hands are hot, and he's hollering, and it's like the same energy as the scene, and it just lets me know that anytime I see someone grabbing something hot out of the oven and throwing the food, gets me into tears from laughing.
well, what's never made sense to me about that is you see him the next day at work and his hands are wrapped up, but his fingers and his thumbs are completely exposed.
That's
If
the
he
part that
burned
gets me.
himself, he's going to be grabbing it with his fingertips and his thumbs, not the palms of his hand.
And when you see him grab it, it looked like he grabbed it with his
Yeah.
fingers. He didn't grab it with his he didn't
Now,
palm it.
so like I say, I've never been that messed up that I would have done that. I've also never been messed up enough to make ice cream sandwiches on whole wheat with lettuce.
Oh, jeez. Unless that's the first time you did it and you did a lot of it, I've heard stories of people doing random crazy shit like that.
Dude,
But
that
no,
how wild is
not
that party that they throw?
it's like it's one of those parties that obviously is the movie party because it's too good. There's not
Well, and you've
real
got
parties
people
aren't that awesome. It was
like
too perfect. It was too awesome.
you've got a guy in a suit who looks like he's a lawyer mingling with big
Big ass
bikers and
biker looking motherfucker. And he
like
had like cholo, he had cholos. You had a chick that was just like stripping and people giving her money.
yep,
Like,
I
what
saw
the
that.
fuck is
Well,
going on?
and then the girl that Jonah Hill ends up with, she's literally just dancing by herself. He walks by and she just pulls her top down and she's like,
Yeah,
have at it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
that's exactly, yeah. That's what what you're thinking throughout that entire scene. It just happens. It's like they call the guy up for weed, he shows up, and then that whole party shows up. And it's like, all right,
And we've
this is what
like
we're
that's a
doing.
thing. Well, that's a thing when we were younger, where it would be like even college or even high school, where it's like somebody's having a party, and one person tells two people tell 10, and all of a sudden there's 150 people show up, and you don't know a single one of them.
Yeah, but he just showed up with 150 people.
Oh yeah, no, I
They were
know, but I'm
all
just
with
saying
him.
that's
Yeah,
kind of how it is. Like you see
yeah,
that
yeah,
in
yeah.
movies all the time. Just people throw a party, and then the house is filled with random strangers.
Exactly. And they're all doing something different, and it just all looks like a hell of a good time.
I mean, you know what else I think looks like a pretty good time in this is spending your lunch hour just challenging people to play random video games.
Yeah,
And
if you're good at it, if you're the winner.
see what I don't. I mean, I get that his character's supposed to be like he's worked there for 10 years and he knows all these games. But are we supposed to believe that anybody can challenge him at any game ever made and he's never going to lose?
I mean, I I guess in that context, I mean, not in that context because the game was an older game. Maybe he
Yeah,
played it.
it's
I
literally
wish we had a little
frogs
bit more
jumping.
context in that.
It's literally
Yeah,
frogs jumping to catch flies.
it definitely was like an Atari original Nintendo type game. So maybe that's probably why he was a little bit better at it because he probably played it when he was a kid. But
I'm
there's no
also
context
hoping
to it.
I'm I'm also hoping that they used a kind of shitty graphic old game for that challenge so that when we get the challenge with Jeff and they do the Dance Dance Revolution,
Oh my God. That is ridiculous.
that's another great one is with the lines when he just absolutely decimates this guy and at the end he's like the game says new high score and he goes, what does that mean? Is that good? Did I break it?
Well, the freaking song that he chooses was like it just seemed like sirens. So
Yeah.
you know something was gonna fucking happen. He starts going fucking crazy. And you know that he's not actually playing the game
Oh
because he's
God,
doing
no.
things he's doing things. He's like uh he like puts his whole body down like he does like a superhero
Well,
landing
and
at
at one
one
point it
point. It's
almost just
like,
looks
come
like
on,
he's
man.
at one point it
And
just
I was
honestly
like,
looks like he's running on the spot.
yeah.
I'm like,
And I love
you're not touching any of the pads
no.
on the floor. You're just running.
I love how the game is like, you're gonna break the game, you're so
Yeah.
good. No game's ever said that. That's like prompt for a game. But that shit was so funny though. It was so funny.
I mean, the so like we said, the main crux of this movie is getting this game finished. You have this JP character who is off the walls nuts, talking in a robot voice. which you imitated at the end of our last episode when you suggested this.
Oh yeah, he's got a few of them. He uses that voice quite often in
So
this movie.
I want to ask you something. So throughout this movie, we haven't really touched on it much, but throughout this movie we see that Alex has been designing and programming his own video game called Demonic, which I'll be honest, for 2006 looks pretty badass.
I think they were actually going to release
They
that
were.
game.
They were. I don't know what happened, but I read that too.
Yeah. Which it
But
looks like it was a game that was a playable. Like it seemed like it was a game that they actually did make. It didn't seem like it
well,
was
yeah, you see a big difference from the one that JP is designing, where it's just like a character and the whole background is green because it hasn't been coded or designed yet. And then you look at Alex's, and it's fully mapped out. There's no lagging. There's no, as they say, there's no clipping. The rendering is fantastic. Like it looks like a finished game.
hmm
When they have this party, they all call JP because Samantha has his phone number, and they leave this really mean-spirited kind of prank voicemail, and he uses that.
Sorry.
He uses that voicemail to kind of gain favor with Alex. Like basically, he goes there and he's crying and he's like, "I don't mean to be different," which I get. There is that like for a second you feel that little bit of sympathy, and while he's there, he sees this game that Alex is working on, and he says, he's trying to do better, and he says, "Well, if you want, I could take this home, kind of look it over, and give you some pointers, some notes, some suggestions." And of course, him being a prodigy designer, Alex is like, "Absolutely! Like, I would love your input." Now, we end up finding out that JP, the very next day, reveals this to be the game that he's been working on. So essentially, he's stealing it from Alex. What I want to ask you is when he first says that he wants to take it home and take a look at it, do you think that's a genuine thing that he's trying to do? Because it's after he says that he'll take it home, that's when he says, "Nobody knows about this." So I'm wondering if when he originally tells him that I'm going to give you some notes, is he being sincere? And then as soon as Alex says nobody knows about it, he then decides, "Hey, this is my ticket, and I'm going to present this as my game."
I think so. I believe so. Um, I believe he was sincere until he realized that this is the only copy. So he jumps on the chance. Shows a little sneaky that he is. Yeah, that's what I believe. Yeah.
See, I used to watch this movie, and I just used to think like he's an irredeemable character who's just an asshole, and he kind of planned to do that the whole time. Until this rewatch, I was like, I think he's being genuine, and he actually is trying to gain favor with Alex and be like, "No, I can help you with this and move forward." And then all of a sudden, it's like, but nobody knows about it, and it's like light bulb went off, and he's like, "Well, this could be my big, like my break, and like where I could just present this as my own game and just have it released, and then I'd have two major titles coming out within a few months of each other."
Yeah.
And I love that when there's the big question of like, oh, did Alex really make this game, this and that? The way that they prove that it was actually Alex is they get his grandmother to come in and play the game against JP. I don't know what it is, but I find it so amusing to watch Doris Roberts play a video game so intently.
Yeah, I agree. Even when she first gets to play the game, I think that scene was pretty wholesome too.
Yeah.
And it was funny, but it wasn't silly.
No.
And it was very enjoyable just watching her playing
Well,
this
it's
video game.
especially it's funny. Like she goes into a room and he's like, "Use your telekinesis," and she goes, "I don't see any telephones."
Hmm. Yeah, it was good. It was good. And yeah, and then watching her wipe the floor with JP was
the other
satisfying.
the other thing I was thinking in that first scene when he's showing his grandmother the game, he's like, "Wow, you got to a checkpoint. That's really good." In my head, if I was Alex, I would have been like, "She's never even touched a video game controller, and she just breezed past a checkpoint. I need to redo this and make this game harder." Because if somebody who's never done this before can do it that easily, it needs to be a little harder.
Yeah, somebody doesn't know what buttons use to walk.
Yeah.
I think you should, yeah, maybe you should adjust your settings a little bit.
Yeah, I like these. Oh, this is your jump. This is fireball. This is this.
How do
She's
you
like,
make them walk?
how do you make the guy walk?
All right, Grandma. All right. This will okay. Here, okay. But yeah, she uh she adapted really quickly. She got good at it to the point where she could best somebody who is apparently a genius at video games.
I mean, he talks about he beat the Legend of Zelda before he could walk.
So what? What is that? What is that? You beat it when you were like one?
Yeah, I don't buy that.
That's not even possible. I don't think a 1 year old could.
I don't think.
No,
I don't think most one.
no.
I
You
don't
could
think most one.
comprehend what you're doing at that age.
A 1 year old doesn't even have the dexterity to hold a controller and press the buttons properly.
Unless he was just waiting for robot legs and just decided I'm not gonna walk
Yeah, I don't know.
until I'm older and some stupid shit like that. But no, it doesn't make any sense. But most of the things he said didn't make any goddamn sense.
No, he's like I say, he's in and of itself his own special character. But yeah, obviously, so she ends up beating him, and we get they finally believe that Alex designed this game, and I love that when Kevin Nealon, Mr. Cheezel, he goes into another one of his philosophical dreams. He's like, "Oh, I was an animal that I crawled inside of an elk and this and that." And as soon as he's finished saying that, Dante is with them because he was with Alex smoking, like getting high. And he goes, "Wow, where do you get your weed?" And he just goes, "From you, Dante." And it's like the whole movie is tied.
And they recognize him. You recognize him right after that. Like, huh?
The whole movie is tied together because they all have the same fucking weed dealer.
Of course.
Which nowadays, with it being legal, at least especially where we live, dealers like that are no longer a thing.
No, you don't have to deal with that. You just go to a store.
They go to a store like you're just buying anything else.
Yeah, another thing that dates this movie because certain things we don't do. We don't have. But yeah, I love how when they all celebrate. When they're all celebrating in the office there, you got fucking Nick, Jeff, just making out.
Oh yeah.
That whole interaction with them two, man, was so fucking funny, man. And then him talking about his interaction with her. He's
Yeah,
like,
the Charlie Chaplin and the
what did he say? What did he say? Yeah, he
did
said,
she the one guy asked him, did she invent the hand job?
yeah. He said a couple of other things too. That was pretty funny.
I did read though that Nick
I didn't.
Swardson was extremely nervous for any of the scenes where they had to like kiss or whatever. I think it said especially their quote unquote lovemaking scene because
Why?
I guess her husband was on set.
Oh yeah, that would make me
So
fucking nervous.
he's like when I had to kiss her, her husband was on set, and he's like I just felt really awkward, which I can understand. I mean, I know you're actors and that's part of the job, but I would still feel a little nervous and awkward. And I mean,
I
the
would feel
woman,
awkward if anyone's spouse was there while I
yeah,
had like a makeout. You know what I mean? How can you not?
yeah, I can't understand how you wouldn't feel even at least a little bit awkward or worried about it.
And it's just especially awkward when you're dealing with someone who's a lot older, and you look at them and it could remind you of your grandma and grandpa. And, you know what I mean? Like yeah. It just seems like
Well,
the more you think about it, the less you'd be into it.
and the depth that they go into with her character's like sexual history. Like, there's
You
points she's talking about Charlie Chaplin and then like fucking
He's been
Abbott and
around.
Costello and when after
War One, World War Two,
yeah,
Tupac. There's a
Tupac.
lot.
But when it's funny because when they so after they have sex, he says to her like, "You were my first," and she goes, "Oh, you were my 3,000 something," and
Oh my
he just
God.
turns over away from her and goes, "Ah, oh, should have worn a condom."
Yeah, she definitely single-handedly created some fucking
and
STDs
and
by
yet the funny
herself.
thing is, he says should have worn a condom, and yet what? 15, 20 minutes later, he's acting like they're together. Like that thought has completely left his brain.
What do you say something about the Great Depression? What line was that? What was the line?
I don't remember.
Her pussy smelled like the Great Depression. Oh my God. Oh my
But I mean,
goodness. Oh yeah, and like, oh sorry, he was like, yeah, she gave Charlie Chaplin a hand job, and he was like, was he silent?
yeah. Well,
God.
another great line in this movie is after his after Alex's grandma and the other girls drink the pot, the tea,
Mm-hmm.
because they think it was Sophie's. And when Alex just goes, "My grandma drank all my pot," and Jeff goes, "That's awesome." He's like, "I mean, how many people can actually say that in a lifetime?"
And I love how like that particular pot, the ongoing joke that it's what is it, some deer antlers or something.
Well, yeah,
Everyone who smokes it or
they
drinks it or gets high from it, they all think they have antlers.
yeah.
I like that. I like that little
But
ongoing joke.
I like that when he first tells him about it, and it's right after he tells Alex that Dante he's going to get a lion, and he goes, "You know that lions eat deer, right?" And he goes, "Oh my God, you're right, Doctor. We need to be careful."
Yeah, and the doctor shakes his head.
This movie has
Yeah.
so many, and like we've said, it has so many funny quotes and lines.
Oh man, the whole movie. Every scene, there's a quote that you could say throughout your whole life. And I think there is probably a quote in every scene that I probably still to this day, like almost 20 years later, either to myself or to somebody else, I will spout this quote.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I just realized we've gone through this whole thing without discussing what leads up to them having the party is the cameo of David Spade at the vegan restaurant.
Another, yeah, another cameo that's great, man, from another character that if he's on too long, no, I wouldn't really say David Spade because he's been in. I don't think he's in the same category as Rob Schneider, to be honest.
No,
You just
I would
kind of
much
get
rather watch David Spade than Rob Schneider.
because he's led movies that I love. Like he's in a movie that not a lot of people even know called Lost and Found,
Oh, with Sophie
and
Marceau?
I fucking love that movie, man.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people. It's very underrated.
And then, of course, his Joe Dirt. But, I
Oh
mean,
yeah, Joe Dirt.
David Spade could win a fucking Academy Award, and he will always, always be Richard from Tommy Boy.
Oh yeah, if Chris Farley didn't pass away, they probably would have made 10 of those type of movies. Tommy Boy, Black Sheep. They would have continued to make
I
at least
wish.
4 or 5 other banger movies, man. And I think his career got halted a little bit because of that. I think because not only he lost, his his right hand man, I'm sure it affected him
Oh, they were
emotionally.
they were like best friends.
Yeah. But yeah, he was
They
awesome as Shiloh. Shiloh or Guy
Guy
Blow.
Blow.
Guy Blow.
They were a little. I know it was for jokes for the movie. They were a little unnecessarily rude.
They were bullying him for sure in that whole restaurant. Abso-fucking-lutely, man. And no, that part of that scene, you probably couldn't get away with it too
No.
much nowadays. But yeah, you definitely felt that. Yeah, he was being bullied a little bit. So Shiloh's explosion on everybody, his reaction to what they were saying was
Yeah,
justified for sure.
absolutely.
But it still was funny, man. Regardless, it was funny to me, man.
Well, I mean, right after that, because they end up leaving there, just going down the street to like a fast food type place because they can get meat. I don't know why it makes me laugh so much. I think it has to do with Nick Swartzen's delivery. So number one, they're at this like almost like an outdoor fast food stand type, like walk up counter restaurant,
Mhm.
and for some reason there's no bathroom because Jeff walks up and he's like, "Hey, we're right near your grandma's place. Do you think we could go and like I could use the bathroom?" So that number one, I was like, "Why would there be no bathroom there?" But that's beside the point. It's when he says to him, Alex goes, "Just go fucking piss in the alley," and he goes, "I have to piss out of my ass."
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's 100% the delivery that he makes, and that's the catalyst that gets them to go back to Alex's grandmother's. That's the night of the party. But the way Nick Swartzen delivers it, I almost had to pause the movie. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the delivery, man. That's what sells these lines for the majority is just the way they're said, the delivery.
Yeah, because you could read them.
They nail it. They nail it. Every single character that has a funny line, they just nail it with the delivery, and that's just one of them.
Yeah, like you could read these lines off paper, or even like the way you and I are kind of repeating them, and they wouldn't be nearly as funny. But when you watch the way they're delivered and the inflection and the context, like even the facial features, it just makes them so much better. Like even something as simple as, and it also makes Jeff seem like a child. The end of that first day at work when his mom picks him up, he gets in the car and number one, he refers to her as mommy. And then she goes, "Oh, did you have a good day?" And he goes, "Yeah, did you remember the TiVo Samurai Jack?"
Yeah, as if
Which
he was.
for people who don't know, Samurai Jack was an animated show in the early to mid 2000s
Oh yeah,
for children.
that show was legendary.
I never watched it, but it was clearly for children, and it's like, and that's kind of how they're setting it up. Like he behaves like a child for part of this movie, and then the other part of the movie, he's fucking, I don't even know what.
He's Nick Swartzen. That's exactly what he is. Like that's just him. But yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the only other thing that I can think of that I wanted to mention, and it's just because it kind of, yeah, I noticed it with my kind of inner nerddom. The scene where they do the Dance Dance Revolution, I don't know if you noticed, Jeff's wearing a T-shirt, and the T-shirt says "Choose Your Weapon," and it has a bunch of dice, like all different like D&D type dice on it.
Mm.
I thought that was an interesting little tidbit because typically, I mean, I think especially back then, that these guys who are like these video game testers would probably be categorized as either like Alex as stoners or as like gigantic nerds.
Yeah, this is just before like Big Bang theories, Big
Yeah,
Bang theories. So like that archetype was that was still
yeah. It's before, like you say, it's before Big Bang Theory. It's before something like the MCU came out, where nerd
it was
culture
before
was.
but it was before it was glorified. I was
Yeah, it
gonna
was more
say
glorified
it
or
was more.
widely accepted.
Yeah, it was back then. Before that, it was more obscure, more ridiculed if you were a part of it, and if you were a fan, you were
I'm going to be honest,
categorized as a nerd or you know.
more obscure, which is the way I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no going back now, but
I know,
it was
I'm well aware.
I was part of the I guess the group that liked it, but you didn't go around showing it or telling
Yeah,
everybody.
we didn't advertise it, except the only people we talked about it with were other people in that circle.
Yeah, if you recognize somebody was into it, then yeah, then you could
Exactly.
discuss those things. But other than that, you kept your fucking mouth shut and you just liked it in the shadows.
Yeah. But I mean, I think we've gone through pretty much everything I had written down that I wanted to talk about. I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to kind of get into before we wrap. Oh my goodness, words are hard. Wrap up the episode.
Oh, let's see. I'm trying to put quotes that we didn't say that I liked. Anytime somebody is losing at something or lost something, I say your shit's weak, shit's weak.
Shit's weak.
And when Alex is cleaning, he's doing his chores
The
because he
couch.
has, yes, he has
I knew you were going to the couch.
several hours to clean up, and he's doing all these things. And one of the chores he's doing is vacuuming, and he's vacuuming in a living room, and there's a couch in the way, so he lifts the couch so he can get underneath, and when he lifts it, there's like fucking four dead cats. I
But
don't know why there's four of them.
but it's because did you see that all surrounding them are different pills? So it's like B dropped her
Oh, I
pills.
didn't even see that. I noticed there was like food and money. I think I just noticed there was money and shit. I didn't notice the
I didn't
pills.
notice that. I noticed the cats and a bunch of pills.
I just that makes sense then if there's pills. Just the fact that he saw it, the cats were like fucking stiff dead.
Like they
And
had
he just
been there
put
for
that shit.
months.
Yeah, and he put that shit right back down. Exactly what I would have done.
Yeah.
Put that shit right back down. Continue
That
vacuuming. But
that is one of the funny things I did like about this is as soon as he moves in, immediately they're like, "Oh, we've got a young strapping man to help us with all these chores that we can't do because we're older." And they just put him to work every day.
with like serious housework too.
Well, and it's funny because they're like the clock chimes at 6 a.m. His grandma makes him a big breakfast,
Loud
and he
as
goes,
hell.
"Well, he goes, so it's 6 a.m. So I'm guessing it's like 6:30 by the time he's done eating." And he goes, "I'm going to go back to sleep because I don't have to be at work for another 3.5 hours."
Mm. Yeah, I should have kept that to himself. I should have said 30, 30 minutes or something, or an hour or something. But he
Yeah, I'm
didn't
gonna
know.
go.
He didn't know he was gonna be hit with all them chores.
Oh, it's crazy.
Fuck yeah, all them carpets. That shit would have been
Oh,
all the stuff they had to do
it's like a
longer than
4 foot stack of rugs that he has to shake the dust out of.
yeah. It's a funny scene. It was funny. They went a little bit a dash too far when they had the chick eating the glue or whatever the fuck that was. I was like,
Yeah, I thought the same thing. The
mm,
glue or the paint, whatever it is.
you took a step too far.
Yeah, there were a couple gags like that. I think a lot of her character sometimes went a little too far with stuff like that.
It's hard to write for a character that's like random because you just got to keep creating these random scenarios that are funny, but like realistically, if a person did that, I don't think they'd live long enough to
I
be
think
that age,
I think the
going around just
scenes that
flipping things and
I
shit.
think the scenes that she had that were funny was when she would just kind of be off camera or even just off to the side, and somebody would be having a conversation and she would just like pipe up with random,
Hmm.
like it would, like when they're
Yeah,
watching Antiques Roadshow and B goes, "I'm an antique," and Grace goes, "Yes, yes, B, of course you are."
yeah, yeah, just things like
But I
that.
think I think sometimes with her they just went just a touch too far than they needed to.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, if that's all you've got, I think that's going to do it for our discussion on Grandma's Boy.
Yes.
So that not only brings us to an end to this episode, but it's going to bring us to an end of our guilty pleasure movies. And as you know, we have entered into the month of December, and we are heading towards Christmas, and we're going to get into some holiday movies. It is my choice for our next movie. Oh wait, you know what? We didn't even get into final thoughts. I am so sorry.
I was waiting. I was like,
Why don't you get on that? And I will pull up my my notes here so I can get my head wrapped around.
yeah, for sure. Uh, yeah, I love this movie. This is one of my favorite comedies of all time, to be honest. I think this is a quintessential stoner comedy slash Happy Madison production comedy. Um, I yeah, I think this movie's great. What shines in this movie is definitely the supporting cast, in all of their weirdness. Dante, Jeff, JP, Doris, Alex, like all of them. They're really they're crazy and they all work for the most part. Um, they're all funny and they all definitely play their part in giving the laughs. They all definitely do the job there. This movie knows exactly what it is. It's not trying to win no Oscars, not trying to be a cohesive, thoughtful movie or film. It's a silly ass movie, and they accomplished what they set out to do. Um, deliver something that's just funny. I When it comes to the plot, there's not really any plot. There's not really any stakes. This is definitely definitely has the Happy Madison formula, where it's just a lot of juvenile humor and it heavily relies on the character and the quirks and the shock value, gross out effect. But it works. It works here, and it may not work with a lot of Happy Madison productions, but it works here. Uh, let's see what I got here. The nostalgia factor definitely plays a role in this for me. Um, Definitely seeing all these games from my past definitely tugged on that nostalgia string there. The quotability is insane. This movie's full of it. This movie is definitely rewatchable, which is definitely a plus. Not a lot of movies have that. Um, yeah, I mean, the weaknesses, like I said, the thin plot, formulaic. But honestly, if you're looking for something that is hilarious, quote heavy, ridiculous, junk food level of a movie, um, with a little bit of, with, some heart, uh, I think this movie has it. I think the movie is fantastic. Um, I recommend this movie if, obviously, if you're a fan of Adam Sandler or Adam Sandler style movies. Uh, Highly recommend if you haven't seen it. I would give this movie, personally, I'd give this movie a 7.5 out of 10.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I agree with pretty much everything that you said. Overall, it's not a well-made movie on the like on the tier of, like we had said, things like Shawshank or something like a Lord of the Rings or one of those upper echelon type films. But this movie is super entertaining and it's absolutely hilarious and it's endlessly quotable. I like the performance of pretty much everybody in the movie. They all, and even the characters, have very good chemistry amongst one another. Um, yeah, this movie will always have a special spot for me. And like you say, the nostalgic of video games and what they look like and how they were back in the day. I mean, they're great now, but still, you can't compete with what you kind of grew up with. Yeah, I think this is a highly, highly underrated movie. I was actually looking, and of all the movies that Happy Madison has produced, this is the second lowest grossing. The only one that they've done that had a lower grossing total was Bucky Larson, the coincidentally Nick
Man,
Swardson starring movie. Um, but yeah, I think this movie's fantastic, and I would recommend this to anybody. If you like stupid comedy, stoner comedy, raunchy, any of that type of stuff, you're going to have a great time. If you've never seen this, I would highly recommend it. If it's been a while since you've seen it, give it another watch. I guarantee you're going to see stuff that you forgot about or that you missed, and I would be willing to bet you're going to laugh from beginning to end. If it was on sheer enjoyment of just how much I like this movie, I would be giving it a 9, but because we have to be a little bit kind of objective in these, I'm also going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Solid comedy movie. So I'll do my little spiel again, which I already kind of started. With that bringing us to the end of this episode, it's also going to bring us to an end of our Guilty Pleasures movies, and we are going to move into our holiday movies next. This is my pick, and we're going to go back to the early 90s for this one. We're going to do a sequel. We're not going to do the original because I prefer, personally, the sequel.
no, I can do it. All right.
We are going to follow Donald Trump's advice and go down the hall and to the left
Do it.
as we check into the Plaza Hotel as we watch Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Yeah, I have seen probably the second one a lot more. I think I've seen the second one first, if I'm being honest. So
Okay.
I'm definitely more of a fan of the
I
sequel.
mean, I saw the first one first, but I've always, for some reason, gravitated towards the second one. I'm not 100% sure why. I kind of think I know, but I'm going to save it for the episode.
Hmm.
But yeah, so we really hope you guys will join us as we begin to ring in the holiday season with home with what I consider an absolute classic at this time of year with Home Alone 2. So, for Juan and myself, I would like to thank everybody for listening. Thank you for subscribing. We really hope you continue to do so. Tell your friends about us, give a recommendation, share the podcast. And as always, thank you to everyone for listening, and thank you for subscribing. Take it easy.
Peace.